right, Eagles Nation, Eagles Syndicate family, how are we doing today? I already know that the answer is good because Eagles football is finally back as the Philadelphia Eagles will be facing the Green Bay Packers tonight in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I'm sure you're hearing it in the voice. Your boy, week 1 of NFL season, a little under the weather, but the energy is still there. The hype is still there. Eagles football is still back. And let's talk about this game tonight because per ESPN matchup predictor, the Eagles have a 57.5% shot to win it. The Eagles are favored by 2 points, the over under 48.5. What are we watching for in the game tonight? Listen, Eagles fans, I get it. We are all going to be tapped into this offense with Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson, and Kellen Moore running the show because Kellen Moore is going to have this team's pace of play back to the 2022 vibes, back to when we were the best team in the NFC and it was not particularly close, back to when Jalen Hurts was an MVP candidate. Yes, that is true. But what we need to watch and what we need to keep an eye on is the defense. Now, Vic Fangio defenses typically take about 4 to 5 weeks into the season to really settle in. So Eagles fans, I want you to temper your expectations. We watched Baltimore KC last night. There were some sloppy plays there. Nothing beats real game experience. But that also being said, you have to get some real game experience under your belt before you are at your best version. Can the offense carry for the first month and a half while the defense sorts itself out? I mean, the Eagles got the talent and the firepower to do so, but, Isaiah Rodgers out from this game. Devin White out. A lot of young guys for the Birds are about to have to step up. Nakobe Dean, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. could get some run. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Keely Ringo. These are guys that are going to have to step up tonight for the Philadelphia Eagles on the defensive side of the ball. This Packers team is one of the offenses that I really want to see what the defense can do against, because I promise you, if the defense has a good game against this Green Bay Packers team, we could be in for something special this year. Because it's not just that the Packers are a good team and like everybody else, I'm projecting the Packers to take a jump. While that is the case, yes, what the Packers are is an offense that is really designed to pick apart at least the 2023 Eagles defense, right? A good offensive line. So that defensive line of the Eagles with Carter and BG and, all those other guys on the line right now, Jordan Davis, they can't get home. So the Packers offensive line, it's always good. Jordan Love should have time theoretically to throw the ball if you are a Packers fan. And a pocket passing quarterback like Jordan Love with many weapons, that has what was destroying the Eagles defense, last season, right? That quarterback to wide receiver combination was really able to pick apart the Eagles and would have been. I want to see how the Eagles fare against a good pocket passing quarterback like Jordan Love with a lot of weapons, with a good offensive line. This is the team build, theoretically, that could hurt the Eagles. Obviously they have Josh Jacobs, but the Eagles last year even were solid against the run. I'm not worried about the run defense. I like what we have, of course, on the defensive line, and the linebackers will be fine. I actually like Zach Bond for his addition in the run game. I think he's a very secure tackler, but what do we do against that Packers passing attack? Because also, they don't really have a true wide receiver one, right? They have Dobbs, Reed, Watson, Wicks. Some people tell you those are 4 wide receiver ones. My personal take on this is if you have 4 wide receiver ones, you probably have no wide receiver ones, and there's probably a bunch of 2s or 3s, but I digress. We need to see what this defense could be. I'm interested to see where people line up to start the game, because especially at the cornerback position, and I know I've talked a lot about DBs this offseason here, but it's really the most interesting part of this Eagles team to me in terms of figuring it out. Darius Slay obviously will take his slide, but who will be the other outside corner next to him? I thought it was going to be Isaiah Rodgers, but now Rodgers is out for tonight. Do you move just a Keely Ringo into his spot, or do you move Quinyon Mitchell, who has that flexibility, to the outside, and now you're playing either Maddox or DeJean at the nickel? Because really, I think if Rodgers played, we were going to be set to see Quinyon Mitchell play that nickel corner role. Do they leave him there because that's what he's been doing and just supplement Ringo in? Or do they prefer their depth at nickel and move Quinyon to the outside and have DeJean and Maddox? That's something to see. Another thing I'm really excited to watch is this safety combination of CJ Gardner-Johnson and Reed Blankenship back together. You know, one of the more underrated parts of this Eagles defense in 2022 was these two guys being very good and very secure tacklers. You know, we have that back. We have that attitude that comes with CJ Gardner-Johnson. I know not everybody, you know, is CJ's favorite, you know, player is theirs, but I'm a big fan of what he brings to a defense, right? I think DBs got to be assholes, and I think wide receivers got to be entitled divas if you're going to be the best at your position. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it works. Those are the guys that succeed at that spot. If you're a defensive back, you got to have that that attitude, that grunge to you. And CJ Gardner-Johnson has that, all right? And the defense needs to adopt that mindset. Other than that, I am interested to see what level Jalen Carter jumps from rookie to sophomore season. You know, I don't know if we see it fully tonight, but he's obviously a player I'll be keeping my eye on. And then let's talk about the offense, because obviously it is the most exciting part of the team, but it's also the most sure part of the team. I think us as Eagles fans have very good confidence that Jalen Hurts is going to be healthy, at least to open the year. The running ability will be back, and the offense will, you know, be smooth. Saquon Barkley, how big of a role does he play? You know, this is the best offensive line by far he's had in his career. Is he got that burst back that we saw, you know, really in his rookie and sophomore season when the Giants offensive line was better? Is it an offensive line, or was it a Saquon thing where the burst and, you know, the big plays kind of disappeared over the last couple of years? How much do the Eagles use Saquon Barkley in the receiving game? I actually tend to believe he's going to be used a lot. I know Jalen Hurts typically doesn't dump the ball off, but one, in Kellen Moore offenses, they do dump the ball off. And two, when you have a weapon like Saquon Barkley, you look to get him the ball as much as possible and, you know, create space. And I also think the Eagles are going to use a lot of quick out plays, wide receiver bubble screens to guys like Devonta Smith and Jahan Dotson to get them all the ball in space very quickly. I think they're going to kind of supplement that as another form of the run. How much motion do we see? I mean, any motion is more than what we saw last year. You know, A.J. Brown, how does he fare against Jair Alexander? That's a matchup we're all excited to see. This is going to be a very, very fun game. And I did hear that the Eagles actually did get some form of a home field advantage in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let me know in the comments if you heard this story. But the Eagles hotel is like right next to the arena, and the Packers hotel is like a 2-hour bus ride away. I mean, that's huge. It was a, you know, it was a home game for the Eagles, but I was like, it's not really a home game. But it seems like it might actually be a home game for the Birds because of that factor, which is very, very nice. If the Packers players start off sluggish, you know, maybe they didn't get that good bus. I don't know. But let me know, of course, in the comment section your prediction for the game. I'm going to have the Eagles winning this one, a final score of 30-21. I think the Eagles go out there and show that they are a tier above the Packers in week one. I think this offense shows that it is going to be very hard to game plan against. I think we see Jalen Hurts go over 250 passing yards. Saquon Barkley gets his first touchdown as an Eagle tonight. Those are my predictions. Let me know yours in the comment section. I'm going to rest up this voice a little bit. I will be back here either late tonight, or I might just set the video to post tomorrow, giving you my full thoughts on this game. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.